So when we talk about testers and when we talk about testing profile, uh, we often get into the dichotomy of manual testing and automation testing and blah, blah. But, I came across a profile where on the profile there was no mention of manual testing, there was no mention of automation, and what was mentioned was beautifully put out as exploratory testing and tool assisted testing. And the person to do so is my next guest on Tester Speak. You're watching Tester Speak Season 2 with me, Brijesh Dev, your host on the Test Chat YouTube channel. And my guest today is my good friend, Abhishek Behra, who has been a part of the Test Chat community almost from its inception. So welcome to the show, Abhishek.
Hi, Brijesh. Hello, and thank you for having me here. And I really feel that very special here, and I know that I'm feeling extra special talking to you, especially since ever since I know you actually. And I'll talk about it how I'm feeling in detail later, maybe. But right now, I'm really feeling very special, and thanks for this opportunity to be here. And yes, I mean, I'm excited to actually discuss about things that we have been discussing over the chat, Telegram, and all. And this is opportunity to talk to you face to face and discuss some of the good things. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and I'll tell you, in the introduction also I mentioned about exploratory testing and tool assisted testing. Now, that is something that caught my attention. Okay, when I looked at your profile, wow, this is nice. I mean, a lot of people get into this habit of saying, "Oh, I'm a testing expert. I know manual, I know automation, I know performance, I know security, blah blah." And you've put in your skill set there beautifully, but without mentioning the words manual and automation testing. So, what do you think of manual testing and automation testing?
yeah, that's a very good question. And of course, I would like to explain it in my way. And it's a very true journey that what came from that. Initially, to be honest, my LinkedIn profile and wherever my profile was, I had no idea how to place the exact words and all. So what I felt that the time when I discovered what is what and how should I put these things in a correct way or in a way that I feel and I experienced. So that is where I evolved actually. So the journey start. I will take this thing as a journey, and I will start it with my journey as a tester. So that will give us actually the story behind the evolution. I have evolved actually, and thanks to the community, you and all, I have a very great experience to share with. So I'll start it with some experience that what led me to actually in this testing space. Okay, so it was nothing like it was very normal for me as a career, right? I did a BCA graduation. I didn't do BTech and all those stuff for the very fact that I thought that I'm not meant for those BTech and all. So I went ahead and chose that computer application. So I had one thing that interested me, that computer application. It was about computers, and when I saw any computer, I used to go there and I used to do stuffs and all those stuff. So that was my interest in the beginning. So I thought, okay, let me do some courses that is related to computer science. So I chose it. Somehow out of that time, when I did back in 2004 or 5, it was computer BCA, computer application. It was a fancy name and all, but it was something related to the computer application. So I went ahead, I did my courses and I finished it. But the even after finishing it, I just the basic academic whatever curriculum was there, computer science and the CE data structures and all those stuff, whatever the curriculum, normal curriculum had, right? We did it, we finished it. I was not so good that I would have been placed in order, because after finishing also I didn't get any job, and I knew that I won't get any job because honestly I knew that with that whatever I knew, no one will give me a job. But what is the next thing to try? That is what I have seen from my experience, right? That is where a lot of people are still stuck on. They are done with the BTech or graduation and all. Then where to go? What are the field actually? This is where the dilemma starts. So by that time also I had no clue, no one there to actually tell me that okay, you have to do this, do that and all. So me and one of my best friend that time, we thought that let's go to Hyderabad. We knew that Hyderabad is a place where you go there, you get a lot of options, and based on your likes or interest, you get to choose one. So we thought, okay, let's go to Hyderabad. We went to Hyderabad. We came to Hyderabad, and then in Hyderabad, I saw entirely big opportunities to learn actually. So if anyone is going to Hyderabad, that person will take his or her time to actually see the market. There is development, there is testing, there is system administration, and all those stuff are there. But one thing what I didn't notice is about testing. Nowhere I saw anything, any emphasis or anyone suggesting me for a testing. I met a lot of people. Everyone told you should do PHP, you should do web development, you should do development. No single person told me to do testing. That's one thing. That time I had no idea, no clue about the testing. Also, I was not aware of it. But one thing I had is that I did some web development course. I Because the fact that no that time it was the courses, the course fees would be very less. Within 1,000 rupees you can learn an entire course, entire PHP course you can learn. 500 rupees you can learn entire database, SQL database, and all this stuff. So I went ahead and enrolled in all those courses. It was only me, okay. So I made a lot of friends who were mutual to all those courses. Whenever I go to a course, I will see that friend. So like me, there were many other people also. So the benefit behind that was that I got to know what is what. After attending a couple of sessions, I got to know, do I fit in here? Does this interest me? Then if I don't like it, I leave that. I'll move to the another one. So like this, I have done a lot of courses, but at the end, time came. So where I felt that okay, it has been a lot of time that I have been experimenting and not coming to a conclusion. Then what should I do? And then there was one significant thing happened. Then I got a part-time job in a customer service field. Okay, it was for a Tata Sky. Okay, I feel that it is worth to mention because that is where I actually learned about the customer experience. So I was actually on the end of where I take customer complaints, and I used to pass that, translate that customer complaints, and prepare some kind of document and pass it to our, our technical team and all those stuff. So I used to get a lot of calls, and not a single call was good. People will call you to bash you. That happens in the customer. Even I call the customer care for some complaint. Initially it was very tough because we know people will not go on a soft side, it will be rude. But at the time it went right, I felt very interesting to hear their problems. Every problem was different. Then I felt one day, after 6 months of work over there, I collected many documents, and we used to have a monthly meeting where business will come, client will come, technical people will come. They will ask us, tell us the maximum reported kind of issues and all those, or complaints and all, pinpoints. And I used to note down those things. See, these are the things I have been getting frequently. See, this is the things you might look at, this kind of issues, to so that you can drastically reduce the number of those kind of calls, if that may help. But that time I didn't have a lot of experience or not. I just thought to give them a list. I didn't do any analysis why they are doing and all, but I felt like whatever the time I had it, I just gave it. So that was one experience that I got from the customer perspective. After that, um, I joined into the testing course, just like in a Radar course. No, only one testing was left. So someone told me, okay, try testing. You tried everything, try testing. Okay, I enrolled in a testing a course. It was a big board somewhere in the Amirpet. And when I went there, I felt the way the testing and all those stuff was being taught, right. I felt something is not right. I mean, the way the things that I read about testing on some books and all, and the thing that they actually talk about it is contradictory. So I felt that what they are talking is just because of the classes and for making money and all. I don't think that studying there will actually get me a job. That eventually, I got that no, even testing is not for me because the teacher was not so good. Sometimes it happens, right? Then after that testing, okay, I thought, okay, let's put some resume and I'll put out a job and all. I just mention some testing and all. In the hobbies section, I have a hobby of playing games. So I was actually a lot of into gaming, mobile. Wherever I see mobile, I used to play games. So that hobby actually got me a chance to work with a big company that time. It was 2011 called Gameloft. That time it was a very big gaming company in the mobile industry. So I got a call just because I had that hobby, not because I had anything else. They specifically told me, we see that you play games. What kind of games do you play? It was because they had a requirement to test the games. Okay, I thought, oh, it's a good idea. Am I going to be paid? Of course, you are going to be paid. So I'll play and I'll get money. Oh, fantastic! Why shouldn't I deny it? I mean, what can be the? I mean, best idea. So okay, let's go ahead. I left everything. Let's join there. And I got money. I got to play games there. The environment was awesome. A lot of like-minded people will be there. I got to know a lot of games and all. It's just that your perspective is now different. Earlier, I used to play. I used to enjoy the game and play the game. Now I need to be also careful about the glitches and the problems in the game. I need to make those points and give a report so that other gamers would have a very good experience, gaming experience. Because in the gaming, if I ask, right, gaming experience is very critical. In the any moment, if it is a lagging or if it is a improper graphics or something, the frustration comes out from the gamer.
Yeah.
So that impacts a lot actually. So I knew that, yeah, because I played the game, I had the experience, what is good and what is bad and all those things. So I could relate that my gaming experience there, and I stayed there for quite 2.5 years over there. And actually, I did enjoy that thing. But at the time came, the company had to shut down the India operation. Maybe it was due to some reason they didn't make a lot of profit at all. So they had to shut down, and we are got only 1 month time. Now what? That time I was so involved in the game testing and the entire the job that I didn't want to actually leave. But now, what is the way next way out? There was two options: either join another game company, or in the same field try something else. So I discovered that, okay, now I have experience of game mobile applications and gaming. Let's try something else. And that was the biggest challenge for me to actually find a job in the web application field, because I had absolutely no idea, no experience at all. Wherever I say that I have application on gaming testing, hardly I was getting any call. Somehow I managed from a referral, and I got into a startup where I got an opportunity both with the mobile application and as well as the web application. So that is where I got introduced to the different field. And after working for some 2 to 3 years over there, I felt that, okay, I'm not learning many things here. I need to switch. Then I tried to switch to automation, because that time they didn't have this kind of encouragement or this kind of agreement that we should spend time on the automation and all, because for them it was so much time consuming, and one has to spend a lot of time and all. Even I didn't have a skill, right? So I switched to automation for that, from that profile, and with the help of colleagues from wherever, developers and all, I learned Java from there. And then I actually started my contribution on the automation part on my testing process, and I really enjoyed it. I felt like, why didn't I learn it earlier? But anyways, it is not. It's never late to learn anything new. But the only thing that it interested me, and I worked over there. And then after that, also I changed few of companies. But one thing what I wanted to convey is that all these things, right? I did myself. I did the decision myself based on my experiences. So the customer experiences led me and helped me actually to land into the first job. My love in gaming led me to the first job. From there, I liked the testing, and I wanted to explore other areas. In this entire career, in between, I lost my track, and I wanted to think before automation. Actually, I thought, okay, should I shift to the development or not, and all. I had a thought, but again, I look back my entire journey. I have a lot of experience on this. Can I use that experience for other companies? Can that be helpful? If I have to start a development, I have to start from zero again.
Yep.
So all that again, I thought, okay, let's start all this journey, and I joined into all this. But still, it is not worth mentioning until the pandemic started, about May or June, when I went to LinkedIn and I started just reading LinkedIn and all. And I kept seeing your articles, your discussions, comments, and all. You are the first one that I thought in entire testing space I got connected with. From your connection, it was all branched out. I mean, I met all other connections that I can talk about now. All are my good friends, many good friends. I can really say that you are the starting point for me. Before that, if you ask me, tell me some of the testing space per person in your LinkedIn, I would have absolutely no answer, because I was not using LinkedIn and I never find any friend in LinkedIn. So that was one point, and from you, everything started. The TTC WhatsApp, the TTC WhatsApp actually, it was maybe about June and all. The pandemic started at that time, and I got a lot of time to actually do all this stuff. And ever since then, I never stopped following you on the LinkedIn's and your articles and all the discussions. I met many other many other people on the way. So this is a journey, and one more thing I wanted to highlight, I have added this point as well. From this onwards, I felt very good and confident that there is a space where people are actually talking about testing. Before that, if you ask me or my friends, entire circle, or any my relatives and all, everyone is out of testing. They do not talk about testing. Nobody talks about testing. They don't even consider this testing as a profile, as a serious profile or career. Like, so nobody talked about it. So I felt like there has to be some space, or I am missing out that space maybe, or no one is talking about. So I joined this and I discovered, yes, now we have a very good space. We have very good people from around the world. This is a very good community to get engaged with. And from then I actually started meeting people here and there. Even it was my pleasure to even meet Naveen as well. I have been following him since a long time, and all thanks to the community, I got an opportunity to even talk to him. And so there are many actually. So this is what I could say about the testing for my personal experience.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you so much for those kind words and for doing a free promotion for TTC.
Yeah, definitely, it deserves more.
And talking about Naveen, I mean, he's absolutely awesome. Okay, everybody knows. Big shout out to you, Naveen, if you're watching this episode. Um, you know, I will share this story about Naveen, and I've told him this. Um, so it's okay if it goes public now. So initially, when I started learning automation, and used to have some confusion. Okay, so I used to read books and look at articles and blogs and things like that. I never thought that I could find some resources on YouTube which could actually help me. Because back in the day, back in time when I was learning, YouTube for me was only a way of watching, old episodes of Roadies auditions. That's all. I used to watch Roadies auditions on YouTube, and that's it. That was my entertainment on YouTube. And then, of course, maybe some Nat Geo, documentaries and stuff like that. So I used to watch all those stuff. But then somehow I saw these, on the feed appearing because I was searching for testing and stuff, and the way these cookies work and all that. So I started getting recommendations on testing, and I bumped into Naveen's channel in 2017 November, yeah, around that time. And he started his channel earlier that year, in 2017. Naveen, correct me if I'm wrong here. Okay, so I started thinking, how do I reach this guy if I have a doubt? Okay, will he even respond to me? Does he respond to the comments on his YouTube
Yes.
videos? Okay, will he respond to me? And because he for me was an absolute celebrity, a YouTube celebrity, and that of course he is. Okay, and then through him I got to know about Mukesh and then about Raghav. Okay, so shout out to Mukesh and Raghav as well. I mean, I call them the Trimurti of
Trimurti, yes, yes.
on
We
YouTube.
all call them Trimurti.
Yeah, so so those guys are awesome, and I used to think that they would be so difficult to reach out and there'd be such tough people and all that. And when we got started with TTC, soon we had Naveen on TTC. We had Mukesh on TTC,
Yes.
and I discovered that these guys are such gems, such gentlemen to talk to, so down to earth, and so wonderful to talk to. So, this is one fun story I wanted to share with you. So,
Of course.
with Naveen, and I told him that I used to think that you are a celebrity, and now I think you are just another person I can talk to.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
we had a good laugh about it, and he's been very, very helpful. Okay, he's helped so many people in the community. He has his videos have helped me learn a lot. So yeah, Naveen is a great guy, and it's lovely to have him on TTC.
Talking about Naveen, I want to highlight one more
Please,
very
yeah.
nice story. Before even I actually met Naveen online, earlier when before pandemic, Naveen had a meetup in Bangalore in HSR. Okay, and everyone was following Naveen, and we got to know that Naveen is preparing a meetup in HSR. And that time he also told that okay, there will be one T-shirt with it was about some selenium and all this workshop, right? So he will also be giving out a t-shirt, and there will be a Naveen Labs, and the selenium stuff will be there. And that made me think like, okay, this is the first ever meetup where in the testing space someone is giving out on a testing type t-shirt. Everywhere people will be getting the t-shirts, Source Lab, this, that, and all the developer people will be showing up. At least I should, I have, this is the chance that I need to meet Naveen and get that t-shirt at any cost. So what I did, even also coincidentally, even me and my wife both are in the testing space. We both watched Naveen's video. Then I told my wife, okay, let me attend that conference, and I'll get that t-shirt at any cost. Then I signed up. I took some of my friends as well. We met there, and it was very nice meetup. I met Naveen for the first time, even though I didn't interacted individually because there were too much crowd. But the session was awesome, and that day I discovered Naveen is a very awesome guy, and he has a very good humor.
Yes.
Actually, he makes you feel special.
Yeah.
It was very sweet. I still have that T-shirt, and I don't wear it much because I want to keep it for a long time. But that's
So
still
wasn't
there.
your
That
wife
remind.
jealous? Wasn't your wife jealous that you had the T-shirt?
No, she is now. It is hers. I don't get to wear it.
Oh.
So that's the
That's,
story actually about Naveen.
that's a good one. That's a good one. Now it's hers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
So
show up for some time and then pass it on.
sometime, yeah, but after that, I didn't get to wear that. Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, okay, so coming back again to your profile and to the question,
Yeah.
okay, about manual testing and automation
I
testing.
think I missed to compliment that.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
So what is your thought on the whole debate or the discussion around manual testing and automation?
Yes. Yeah, so I mentioned right when I noticed you in the LinkedIn, it was with that trend hashtag nothing called manual testing, and I saw something different. This person is actually really putting out a lot of things, and the argument that you would place right, it will really make a very logical sense. And the best part was it was actually for each and every article was having a lot of engagements in the comments. You will see. So I thought, okay, it's a very nice thing, and I was never actually very much active in LinkedIn. I never commented, post articles, and all because I kind of stopped myself by that time. I did feel like, okay, what should I put and all. But from that concept, I followed your articles and all related discussions, and then I bumped into James Back, and Michael Bolton, both of them, and I got
Right.
to know this developers and about this Satisfies websites. And when I went to that website, it's like Bible. I mean, you have too much content to read. It will take a lifetime to actually understand and read a lot of contents. And I then followed their YouTubes and all the videos after that. So after that I got to know that, yeah, so that there is a misconception or the misinterpretation of the automation testing. Of course, it is useful and it is really needed, but the way that we present it, think it in a way, right? Everyone who is into non-testing guys, they think that automation, if you are not in automation testing, then it's not good. When I say I'm into testing, oh, you are into testing, why don't you go into automation testing? No, I'm in testing already. Automation testing is a part of a testing, right?
Yeah.
So why should you be? So I need to struggle a lot to explain, but how do I put it actually? But after reading those kind of articles, I got an idea, okay, how to articulate or how to tell it in a way, one or two sentence. I simply ask, what do you do? Development? Is it automated development? Then okay, no further question. So these are the things that actually I realized later, even though I knew it, but I didn't know how to present in a word, present in a better word. So that is when I actually, earlier I didn't have, I had the testing or something that like that. So I thought, okay, let me put in a way somewhere that I understood from all these discussions or articles that I have. These are automation testing rather than let me put it in a tool assisted testing. That will make little bit more stressful because these are the assistants to our testing. So I felt it that way. And to me, even now also, even though whatever automation I do and all, those are all are a subset of a testing, because testing is a very big world. I mean, we cannot only uh, focus on automation testing. Even on the same context, I had a very impactful session I had with Ajay. I watched Ajay's videos, that cast video back in 2015. It was so engaging, and it will actually I mean, it will take you to the best. I mean, of you will realize the actually what about testing, how to learn testing. He has given a very nice article, very nice note on those testing. So the way he says, right, the automation part and the testing part and all, no, right? It makes sense actually. So that is why I realized, okay, I mean, let's be very clear. Let's make our concept clear that uh, let's not mix it. Let's not be in a kind of mix and match. And also, let's be very clear whenever it is. So, and again, we had a lot of discussion around our groups on this topic. Where even today also we can, if anyone asks about it, everyone will get started. But somehow we got the, I mean, concept. So that's how, I mean, that's my even opinion.
Well, thank you for that detailed response. And again, once again, a huge shout out to James Bach, to Michael Bolton, and to our good friend Ajay Balamurugadas
Yeah.
for the great work that they've been doing for testers, for the community.
Yeah.
I mean, some wonderful articles written by both James and by Michael. I mean, yeah, it would definitely take a lifetime to read all of them, if you really want to do so. And there is a lot of knowledge. They bring in a lot of good arguments into play, which make you think. Okay, and they constantly keep saying that it may not be the perfect way of doing things, but it's at least a point where we can start thinking about doing things differently. And when they teach the rapid software testing class, they say it explicitly that that we are teaching this class and we believe that it can be done in this way, but you can interpret it in your way and can use it.
Correct.
So they've given that freedom to all their students to utilize their methodology and to make it their own, which is a good thing. And I really like that about that course. And, it has opened up a lot of ideas. Well, I used to also think the ISTQB way. Okay. And most companies in India still do. A lot of testers in India still do. In fact, I saw, so again, on my YouTube feed, there was this video which said, um, manual testing course. Okay, a YouTube video on a manual testing course, and I saw that it was already seen. That video was already seen by 7,000 viewers. Okay, so you see how much misconception is there.
Exactly.
Okay, I was tempted to ask a question. I mean, what do you mean by manual testing course? What are you actually trying to do? But then I thought that what it will do is give unnecessary attention to that. And if I comment on something like that, then people who follow me will also go there, and then it will only proliferate and not. So I did not. So there are these things. And you mentioned about Ajay, great guy. He's done a lot of work. He's good at sharing what he does, okay, through his books, through his workshops, through the exercises that he does, through the questions that he asks. Okay, there's a lot to learn from him. So a huge shout out to him again for doing such commendable job, and for you to bring about all that and to learn from there and to implement that in your journey. I think that's great. Now, specifically talking about automation, I have a question, and this question actually has been doing its rounds in almost all the forums, and it came out on TDC a couple of days back. And when somebody asked, "Is learning automation very hard?" Okay, and the argument was that automation is now required for almost every job. Okay, you will hardly find a job description which does not have automation or automation related activities listed in it. Okay, the job descriptions have completely ignored the testing part of it, and most of it only have automation written. So obviously everybody's kind of in a mad rush to try and learn automation. But then there is this bunch of testers who have never worked on automation for a long period in their career. Okay, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever. Okay, they have never even looked at automation that way. And now they are having to switch their mindset and try and learn. So this question is obviously coming from there, and they are asking, okay, is automation difficult? Is it hard? What are your thoughts? Is it hard?
Not at all. I would say not at all. The reason I can say with my practical experience. See, back in when I told when I grabbed that automation job, it was after I had about 5 years of experience. Then only I got a job in automation. And nowadays, if you see people starting only from the beginning, only they are talking about automation and all because the technology, the time has changed. So it's of course automation is needed and people should look at it. But if I talk about my experience, till 5 years, I had no clue about automation. If you ask me to do automation, I would leave that job because I had a fear that I'm not for that. Okay, that was one thing. Second thing is that when I joined that company, I set a expectation that I am beginner to automation. Whatever Java language, that time they hired me because I had a basic knowledge of Java, but no knowledge on the automation. I could not do even a WebDriver launch browser automation even that time. So I told that I have a basic knowledge, but I will train. If someone is there to groom me, I will do it so I can learn and grow. So that is where I got introduced there. So I had a very good advantage that I don't have a lot of pressure. Okay. Second thing, what I actually got to know from that job is that I used to do a lot of testing over there. And the nature of the project is that no, we used to have a 2 to 3 weeks patch releases and all. So at the time, right, I felt like I'm doing same thing again and again. I'm losing my interest on this work. So first thing, even though it was a good work, I mean, to be more specific, the project what I was working on, it has to deal with a lot of XML data. So I used to take a lot of XML data, do some validation over there, import that data, and then do another level of validations and all those stuff. So eventually, the changes that they used to give me so frequent that I used to get so tired and bored with doing all that stuff. Then I reached out to one of my developers who was a Java developer. I told that this is what I know. Is there a way that I can do some level of automated way so that I can do these things fastly so that we don't have to wait for 2 to 3 days to finish my testing? They also asked me to, don't you learn automation? I thought, what is the need and how is it going to help? So they told that if you can learn automation, all these things can be done maybe a couple of hours, and you can save all the time, and we can release this functionality quicker. If that is the case, of course I have to learn it. And that's where I felt, okay, let me learn it. And one mistake what was done was that time I can tell about this. That is where the automation thing gets actually the bad name. So when I looked for automation, right? So there were in other department, there were people who were automation test engineer who did this framework and all those stuff using Java. So one of my developers suggested, look out to that team. They have done framework. Take that framework and use it in our project. So, okay, little did I know that I went to them and straight away simply told that, okay, I'm zipping you this Java entire framework. You take it and do your. I had no idea on this, and on the Java, I had to skim through all the code and all the stuff. It took me a lot of time, and somehow I managed to do some level of automation over there. But I was not happy. I was not happy because it was almost taking almost same time. Why? Because the framework was written in some way. It was not so much of readable. If you do some change, it will break in some other, and I was not capable of fixing all those things. So it took me time actually. But at the time I realized that no, I am doing something wrong. So I reached out to some other people. Then I found out there is another tool called SOAP UI. Okay, so all that entire thing which I did in a week or maybe I could do in 1 hour in SOAP UI, because SOAP UI comes along with everything. You just need to know a little bit of Groovy language, okay, and you have to construct all your API. It works very well with SOAP and all the XML and all. It has even have the load testing. You can put some loads and all. A lot of features were there. I didn't know, so it felt very easy for me. I did it that in a day, in a single day. And I told that I'm not going to use that Java framework. I'm going to use it, and I will give you the feedback in very fast manner. Earlier I used to take 3 days. I will take you hardly one a day or half a day. Then it actually worked. The SOAP UI could process a lot of huge large volume data in matter of minutes, and I was really happy. So I then realized that, okay, so automation is not just creating some Java language, putting some complex things and all, but it is that you use some kind of tool that actually suits your project, right? So that was one of the good example that I could say that we should not rush actually to the specific to the tool. We should actually think about the problem that we have, and we might have a easier solution. Sometimes we can actually automate things in the simple curl, in the shell script or something. We should not jump ahead and go to the Java and all, because if I have had to go to Java, I have to learn Java well. I have to understand the code well. I have to fix the exception. I have to fix the errors and all the stuff which I never knew. So at that moment, I felt that way should not. That actually I already spent a lot of time, but lucky that I found somewhere SOPY, and that was free. So my team had no objection on that because it is a free tool. So we don't have to pay it. So everything is okay. They are also happy. I'm also happy. So that did my job. So my point here is that learning, I could have learned Java and done all those stuff. It would have taken time, but for the sake of the time and for the nature of the project, I chose an alternate solution.
Yeah.
But after SOAP UI, I didn't stop there. As and when I had that automation, I got time actually. So every release I don't have to spend 3 days. So rather I spent that 2 days to learn Java, and the same framework I tried to learn it and I tried to improve it, and I did simplified it. I took only those which is needed. I learned Java. Then my interest for the Java and all the Selenium, that I got through there. So it means that that time I had no clue about it, only because I chose a right tool that gave me time to learn. And eventually it took time for me to actually get there. I can't say that even now also I don't say I'm expert, but still I know what tools to manage and at what level should I manage. But rather than what I say, rather than choosing a wrong tool and spending a lot of time, choose a right tool, make a right decision, and don't spend that time. So don't waste that time. That's my point is. So it's not hard actually. It's, if you take it progressively, don't look at the market trends. That time one good thing was there, no, I was not aware of the markets where everyone is talking every day new tools. So I was not overwhelmed. I was only focused on Java and REST assured. That is the only thing I was focused. I didn't care about what are all the technology, what are all these markets are going on, because I was focused. Nowadays, if you go open internet, you will be overwhelmed. You have hundreds of tools and you have no idea which one to pick. Right, that's the problem. It is happening. That's the people feeling that I think I'm not good for automation. It is hard. It's not hard actually. You need a good teacher. I mean, you need to find a good resource which you feel comfortable. You need to learn from there, and you need to have a schedule. I mean, it's not hard actually.
That is a very comprehensive response to that question. Thank you, Abhishek, for that. Uh, I agree with you 100% that, when you're trying to automate something, first understand the context. There are tools, there is technology available, but can the same thing that worked for somebody else work for you too? Okay.
Definitely.
We often get lured by, the testing practices that the FANG, or sorry, now the MANG companies
Man.
have. Okay. I have to get used to Meta. So the MANG companies have now. So people will say, oh, you know what? Netflix is doing chaos testing or chaos engineering. We should also do. Does it fit your context? Okay. Does that tool fit your context? Oh, so and so is using Selenium in his project. Does it suit your context?
Exactly.
People don't understand that. Even and that's where the learning also, oh, what is the market? Which is the tool which is most popular? So people have asked, like, okay, if I do Java with Selenium, what are the possibilities? If I do Java with say Ruby, sorry, Selenium with say Ruby or anything else, what are the possibilities? Now, I will give you one very practical example. In my current project, it is Selenium with C Sharp.
Okay.
Do we speak about it that often? No, we don't. But that is a combination that is required here because
Correct.
it is the context which
Context.
defines the pattern, which is absolutely right. So this is what suits the pattern, the
Requirement.
project, and that's what is required. So first understand that and then take a decision. Okay,
Exactly.
if you do not have anything in your hand, you are not working on a project, and if you're still looking to learn automation, what tools you must learn? Obviously, people will go for the most popular ones. They look at
Yes.
the trends and they. But then again, identify a niche for yourself. Do you want to be one among those zillion UI testers? There are so many of them. And so many of them, despite wonderful tools like, Selectors Hub, again, a big shout out to Sanjay for doing that.
Sanjay.
Despite tools like Selectors Hub are still struggling with your XPath.
Look at this.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is one entirely different thing. Of late, there has been an increasing emphasis on testing APIs. Okay, do API testing. People have understood that, okay, no, UI may not be just sufficient for me to test. I need to dig deeper. But let's go one more step. Okay, how many testers or how many discussions have you seen around testing the backend? Doing ETL testing, making sure that your APIs are well connected with the databases. Okay, the application code which resides there, is it talking to that? Do we have discussions around that? No.
Very less.
Okay, very recently, there was a post on LinkedIn which said, well, I am looking for some ETL testing resources. Can you help? And so many people started writing, oh, I'm following this conversation, because nobody had an answer. Because we don't speak about it that often.
Correct.
We are
Exactly.
we are still seeing a lot of testers focused on UI and trying to automate the UI, where the experts, been constantly telling that, you yes, UI is a good entry point into automation. There is a lot of way, but that's not where you're supposed to focus your testing on. You're supposed to be testing in the right layer.
Exactly.
You cannot concentrate your testing entirely on the UI. And
Yes.
that's why, Selenium, yes, it's a good tool, it's a great tool, but only Selenium, will it help? No, definitely not.
No.
So you have to expand your landscape and look at more tools, look at more possibilities, understand what does it take to, you know, to test deeper. Now, I always talk about this login page example. Now, login page, okay, simple, two text boxes, one for username, one for password, and there is one link for forgot password, and there is this button which is sign in or whatever. Okay, so what happens when you enter your login name, sorry, username and password, and click? So I ask this question to a lot of testers, and they say, "Oh, if it is the correct username and password, it will take me to the next screen." That's the answer I get. Okay. So if you have to test it, we will test using this combination. We will probably find the elements for the fields and the button and the link or whatever. And then we will input the values, the correct values, and then see if it goes to the next page. Okay, UI testing done. Okay. But is that the testing that you need to do? Do you understand what goes on when you enter the correct username and the
Credential.
correct password? How it goes
Very clear.
down the layer and how an API request is generated for validation of those username and password. When it goes down, checks, in the database, oh, this is indeed the correct credentials, and
Yes.
then a response is sent through an API that, okay, you know what, correct credentials, take it to the next screen. That's how you'll end up on the next screen.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
because you don't see it, because it's all, milliseconds, microseconds job, sometimes even nanoseconds job, if the performance is too good. Okay. So you don't realize it, that so much is happening, and that there are possibilities of testing those pieces as well.
Yes.
So, so you see what I'm
Correct.
saying,
Correct.
and this is very much in line with what you said, Abhishek. I mean, so when people are saying, "Oh, it is hard," no, it is definitely not hard. It is definitely not hard. There, it is definitely doable. People have been doing it, but it's just that
The
you
way that
have
we are doing is wrong. Maybe we
exactly
need to.
you have to think, look at the bigger picture, and start thinking in that way. So if you're looking to learn automation, I would say, start small, have a
Yes.
focus, look for a niche, what you want to do
Correct.
ultimately. Don't do it because everybody is doing something. I mean,
Exactly.
it doesn't work that way. Okay, just because somebody else has it running successfully doesn't mean that it will suit your context and serve your purpose. Think about your purpose and then do it. Thank you for that response. Now I want to ask you one more question, and this is related to something that you did recently, one of your recent achievements. You were the runner-up at So You Think You Can Test, a contest organized by the Test Chat.
Yeah.
How was your experience, and what did you learn?
Yeah. Thanks for asking this. Actually, this is very special for me. There are many reasons why it is special. First thing is that this is the first testing contest after all these years I actually attended. Second thing is that I got to pair up with one of the best. Our We can call Gaurav is a brand now. Gaurav. Okay, so it happened like so earlier also many contests were there, and see Bridges, one critical before that I want to highlight. See, I always kept my self back. I found always an excuse. Okay, that I won't join this contest, or I cannot do this, or anything. Like no, no, I had that kind of the thought. well, I don't know if I go there, how will I do, whether my work will be good or not good, or because so when you are working with someone, no, you have to contribute yourself. So the other person, whether that I'm really adding value or not adding value. But then again, Gaurav reached out to me, and then I was following Gaurav article, videos, and all those stuff. I knew Gaurav very well. It's just that we didn't talk personally. See, he told that this is what the contest is, and we would like to join with me. I was first of all shocked that why did you choose me? Then I knew that Gaurav had a lot of already badges and all with a lot of other teammates, Rahul and all those stuff. So I knew this guy has a very good. I mean, so you know that, and then this guy is approaching to you. I thought that okay. First of all, I was again thinking, okay, shall I find some excuse and deny it? First I thought, but then okay, and so also that, and I thought then again I might not get a chance tomorrow. Sometimes Gaurav might be busy, or I won't get a chance to actually work with it. And that time even I was at my home time, so time was very important. I mean, it was like I didn't get a lot of time. Even I had a lot of hectic work that time. Even though despite that I said yes. Okay, then Gaurav told, okay, if you are saying yes, then we will daily catch up and we'll do a planning and all those stuff and all. And this was the first TTC contest, so it was all well planned, and it was a mobile application. And one thing that interested me, that the mobile application, I had experience with mobile application. That is where I started with. So I want to actually come back, and I wanted to actually learn mobile application. Now it has been quite long time I haven't worked much on the mobile application side. So I felt that this is the chance. If I lose it, it is my fault, and I have to take it. Then we both paired up, and after initial discussions with Gaurav, I got a very good feeling, confident that working with this guy, definitely we can do. He is a very optimistic guy from the day one. I remember that I had no idea whatever I am going to help or I am going to do. I don't know whether we will reach to that even finalist or whatever it is. Even you guys will I mean shortlist our project or not, I had no idea. That guy told, see, we have to do this will we have to win. He started with that statement. We have to win. So we have no idea. We don't care whether Ajay is joining, whether Rahul is joining, other pros are joining. We have to win. So I thought, okay, if this guy is telling he is winning, that means, of course, he has some experience, he has strategy. He is not a one-time winner or two-time winner. Multiple times he is winning. So there is a pattern actually with this guy, and I know why he wins. He has that. He has mastered that way how we work now. So and then I got a chance to actually work with him closely. He's very meticulously hit six everything to details. He thinks his thought process, then I tried to add some other thoughts. So when you have two minds, you have a lot of things to again think about. Then he was working on Microsoft, and then he presented this Azure tool, which was very good actually. It was very easy to put out the information, have all this documented, and it actually saved our time on the documentation part, gave a good graph and all those stuff. I also learned that
Azure DevOps.
it was Azure DevOps, and I also learned that. And we both had the mobile, so we both had actually same mobile, OnePlus. Now we were thinking, how can we get a iPhone? Then the person Gaurav had his wife had a has a iPhone. We covered with the iPhone. So now we are good with the iPhone and iOS. Now and then again we started daily sync up and daily plans, and he will review my bug, I will review his bugs, and we will talk about it. We will try to put out good details on the bug reporting screenshot. And then one another biggest point he noted about is the video thing, recording a video. Earlier he was actually posting some of the YouTube videos. He started his videos recording himself and the videos on these things. Then I was asking, he told that recording a video takes very less time and you can explain it a better manner. So we will do a proper recording and send that to the judges panel so that they will quickly get what we are doing at all. It was very nice idea. So we planned our entire testing activities. We segregated it and we started a timer. Within that time, we had to finish it, and we went one by one, explained in that video. I think it was mentioned that one of the point that actually contributed our actually result because of the video, one of the videos that we have did. So the at the end, right, the reaching to that level is a different thing which I didn't imagine. And pairing up with Gaurav and learning all this stuff, and the entire contest, the vibe was so good. Uh, we used to get a lot of defects, a lot of people asking a lot of questions. That is where one of the key skills that I also learned from the testing labs from Ajay. Ajay asked that you need to ask a lot of questions. Put your questions, doubts, don't assume things, right? So we also asked a lot of questions over there. So that also clarified a few of our testing details over there. So then at the end, then we got to meet in the present our contest, and then we got to meet you people. And then again with James Bag, and then again it was again another James Bag, Naveen, and I mean Lavanya, you, and all of us were there. So it was, I mean, it was more than what I wished for. Of course, for Gaurav, it could be a normal thing because he's winning it. But for me, it is so special that I can talk about it to many things. And after that contest, I always share these things to my fellow or my circle testers so that I can at least tell them, see, you know me from the beginning, from the bureau. So I have been trying to be there. Yeah, I'm getting a chance. And see, I met Naveen, I met James Bag, I met Bridges, I met all these people. So that can at least encourage you. You can just, you need to actually open up yourself.
Yeah.
And this is a big learning actually. So that's the takeaway for me. Very big step out. So that's what I would like to say.
Awesome, awesome. No, you guys were awesome. And since we have been speaking about Gaurav, hey Gaurav, big shout out to you as well. This has been an episode of shout outs, right?
Yes.
So Gaurav, what amazes me about that guy is the first of all the optimism that he always has, and the attitude that he has towards these contests. And people rightly say that winning is indeed a habit, and he's got into
Yes.
that habit of winning. Okay, because he knows that okay, I can do this, and one of the things that he does really well is to pay very very close attention to the rules. Okay,
Yes.
a lot of contestants in contests miss out because of that. What Gaurav does well is pay attention to the rules, clarify each and every step. He understands, okay, if I do this, then there is a possibility. And here again, in your case, okay, you guys were the only guys or the only team which actually put out a video, okay, of the work that you did. And that caught the attention of James. Okay,
Yeah.
immediately you do a video, it's like you're absolutely right in your analysis that your video makes life very easy because they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth a million. So if you can use those million words to your
Yeah.
advantage, use it. And that's exactly what you guys did. So
Yes.
it was nice, but and your presentation was good. Everything went very well until this
Yes.
lady came in her very
Yeah. Yeah.
simplistic
Yeah.
voice to me. Again, huge
She
shout
is
out to
amazing.
you. In a very very simple manner, she did what she did, and it was magic.
So amazing documentation. I am
Yeah,
fan
yeah,
actually.
yeah. It was, and the fun story is, in the first round, James did not even look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
he said it in this on the final
Correct.
video as
Correct.
well, that he did not look at it because it was an Excel document, and he's like, oh, another Excel. And because Lavanya and I had taken a look at all the Excels, we just
Exactly.
recommended James to take a look a little more closely. We said, why don't you take a look? It's good. It's different. Just take a look. We said, it's okay if you don't agree and if you want to, say that, oh, it's Excel and we don't care. But take a look is what Lavanya said. She insisted, and then James looked at it and he's like, wow, this is stuff. I mean, this, we need to hear from her what was going on in her head. And then when he saw that she had the exact same bug which he had found through
Exactly.
automation,
Automation,
he
yeah.
had done without automation. Okay,
Wow.
he
The
was curious.
level of,
He was curious, like, how did you do it? How can you
awesome.
do such a thing? I mean, that was
Yes, yes.
yeah. So very interesting contest. We learned a
Patience
lot.
and passion, actually.
Yeah, we learned a lot. We learned a lot in the way we need to organize these contests. Okay, the whole idea was to take you through an entire testing process, right? So it's not okay, you find bugs and it's and the story is over. We wanted to do something differently, encourage you to showcase your ability to test, and that's why the contest was named as such.
Yeah,
Okay, it
I
was
loved
not a
it.
bugathon or anything like that. Bugathons are great. Okay, they are quick. They give you great result. They get you excited because it's all about bugs. But we wanted this to be a little different, and it was different. We had a great
It was
experience.
actually.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
yes,
had a great experience organizing it. We learned a lot. We learned a lot
definitely.
from you guys, actually, from the contestants. Okay, in the way you reported bugs, in the way you dealt with things, situations. Okay, we learned a lot from you, from Moshimi. Okay, and now we know that every Excel is not a waste of time. Okay,
Exactly.
Excels are actually good. So
Right.
probably we might see Gaurav using Excel. That may also happen. That may
Correct.
also happen. So yeah. All right. Enough of serious talk. Let's move into some fun, and let's do a quick rapid fire. If you've seen the previous episodes, you know the rules. 5 seconds for thinking about the answer, and if you have a multiple choice, then you'll have to tell why. Okay, so the first one is, of course, a multiple choice question. Which is your favorite city? Is it Hyderabad or is it Bangalore?
Hyderabad.
Why?
Uh, it's the first thing is the memory. I started my major career, I mean, learning. All this learning started over there, just like I explained to you about all the jobs and all the stuff. I made some of the best friends for life, even we are connected with now. And the best part is that where I started, we are still in the same job, same kind of community, and also that makes me feel very good that we are on a very right track and all. And for the fact that the people there, the environment, the cost of living, or the even fact for the fact that it's closer to my place, my native. So yes, so that's the reason that I like it most.
While you
But
were giving all those reasons in my head, I was like, please say biryani, please say biryani, please.
okay, not to mention that, of course, yes, of course, biryani is like in Hyderabad. But the thing is that, right, you in Hyderabad and not a fan of biryani means something different, something wrong
Oh,
with you.
I know somebody who's not a fan. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. Sorry. Um my good friend Mahesh Chikne. You shout out
I
to him.
know, Mahesh.
He's not a fan. Well,
So
okay.
sad.
Okay.
Or could be
Um,
Rajesh, he has to try some of the best other biryanis. Could be. Maybe the experience that he had is bad. We
I,
don't know.
I don't know. Maybe, it's a matter of individual taste. So,
Correct, correct.
anyways, okay. So the next question. Okay. Now travels are slowly opening up. If they are, of course, now because of the new variant, whatever, it's again a lockdown. But still, things are open. So if you get to fly internationally, if say somebody you wake up someday you wake up and you have this big voucher, you know you get it via mail and it says fill in your dream destination, and we'll take you there.
Uh,
So
I would go
so
to
where
Netherlands.
so where would you go?
I'll go to Netherlands.
Just are you saying this just to please me or something?
No. I'm telling you why actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like this place. It's like heaven. Why? There is another interest. I am into cycling. I like doing cycling and all. And one of my friend is here, who is a very close buddy of mine from Bangalore. He moved to Netherlands, and like you tell, no, the day he went to Netherlands, that guy is going lot of the cycling infrastructure, the places, I mean, all that supports that the encouragement over there is phenomenal. I mean, he is posting us with the photos, bikes, and all the friends and all those entire cycling activities and all. No, so I am itching to actually go. He is inviting, but all these things is not happening. But that is, if I have to actually go, I will. That is one of the places I would really go, and I would like to enjoy. And I feel that nobody would even, not even for that, nobody would even deny the fact that it's a very beautiful place to go. One has to go in a lifetime. So, of course,
Plus,
but you can
plus
tell
you get
more.
to meet me. Plus you get to meet me.
Definitely, that is. I was going to add. You need to meet Brijesh. So.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
no, your friend is absolutely right about Netherlands and the cycling infrastructure. So there are the population of Netherlands is 17 million, but there are more bikes than people. Okay,
exactly.
and you know, bikes do get stolen here. Okay, so it's
Yeah, yeah.
so yes, there are some good ones that people have.
Bikes are
Very,
expensive.
very expensive. They are very expensive. Okay, so there are bikes which are costing like 40,000 euros or something like that. It's like,
Yes, yes,
okay, what is it at the end of the day? A cycle, but it is expensive, and there are different kinds of
yes,
bikes.
yes, yes.
Okay, it's not the standard ones, but there are different kinds, and it's there for everybody, for all age groups. You
Correct.
will see, 3-year-olds on bikes. You will see 90-year-olds on
Orange
bikes.
group. Yes, yes, yes.
So all age groups, excellent. Well, okay. Now the last question, and I can't do without asking a question about food. What's your favorite food?
It's earlier used to be biryani, just like from Hyderabad, right? But of late, like since 2 years, I turned vegetarian.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
so that is a big shift for that thing. So now for me, it's a simple rice dal paneer or kind of. So I'm settling with that. So I like it that.
Why? Why this transition?
This transition I was trying for many years, but I wanted to actually try this because I'm into cycling and fitness for long term. So I was not feeling like I'm improving a lot. So I have more goals over there to in the once it opens up, I have a lot of trainings to do and all. And I feel that going vegetarian gives you very good, and I have been getting a lot of benefits for me individually. It is working out. So I feel that yeah, staying this will actually giving me the required result with my respect to my fitness. So I like it plain and simple.
Awesome. Cool. Cool. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for doing that so well. The rapid fire. Unfortunately, I do not have a gift hamper for you. uh,
Talking to you
but,
for this long is a gift. Seriously, I mean,
but anyways, so let's get back to discussing something about testing. So, what is your advice to testers who have just joined the industry or are looking to join the industry?
yeah. So even with my experience, it could have been different earlier before meeting all these communities, learning all this stuff. Because I would feel that I cannot advise because I had no confidence that if I have to advise, then you need to leave that experience, with that experience. So with that, whatever I learned so far, right, uh, who are starting out the career, right, uh, like I would redirect to some of the resources to watch them if they want to really interest into testing. Because if it is a testing or development or whatever the profile, if it doesn't interest you, you then for a long term you won't be staying here. I mean, you might change again. So first thing is that if it is testing, First, make sure that you like it and you are learning from a right direction. Meaning, just don't jump into the automation for the sake of the testing. Right? Earlier, we didn't have a lot of resources. Now, uh, as I mentioned about the Ajay's 5 years back, 6 years back videos. By that time, if you watch that video, if one wants to learn into testing and all, he has mentioned a lot of resources to learn testing, even the automation. For automation and testing and in different kinds of testing, what are the things and all. So to learn, there are a lot of free resources, books available. So I feel try those, to spend time to learn about testing. Also learn about automation. Don't I mean automation is not a hard thing. I would like to really shout out to Amuthan here. I'm a big fan of his contents.
Yes.
I really got learned a lot of things from Amuthan's videos and playlist. The way that he is putting it. Before that, I watched a lot of videos, but the connect and the understanding that I got from his videos, he takes that testing mindset and testing requirements and joins it with the language. So he's a very good bridge between our testing and the coding, right? So if you get a mentor or person like him, you will feel that okay, learning automation is not that hard. Of course, nothing is so easy if you don't put that consistency, effort, and all. But stay away from this jargons and all these overwhelming tools and all those things. Race, start something. Of course, testing or concepts or any books or publication, but very important that you should try to network. If I would not have met you or in the LinkedIn, I would be in the same space. I don't know what I would be doing, or I don't know if I would be making any impact on my career and all. So making friends is very much important. At least start with one. That one person will lead into many other. Try to attend conferences. I think Test Drive has a lot of conferences lined up, and most of them are free. Try to attend. Even our test chat, we have weekly series coming, right? So if you are really keen into it, spend time over there. You need to know a lot of people. The best part about it is that now, if you ask me, apart from your work, do you have friends? I have more friends apart from work, and I know many people apart from work actually. So I have been friends in different domains: security, accessibility, mobile, and all domains. So if I have to reach out for help, guidance, I will straight away reach out, right?
Yeah.
So that's the benefit that of the networking. So try to attend those networking and webinars, and apart from that, try to participate in the discussions. You rightly said, when we were in the beginning stage of our test chat Telegram, there were people, they were online but they were not replying at all. So we wish to have a poll, right, and then see how many people are responding to it. So I think go ahead and put your thoughts over there. Don't we need to be we don't need to be scared whether our thoughts are going to be wrong. Let it be wrong. People are there to correct you. I mean, in our test chat, if I write something, wrong, also people will correct me. But one more thing I would like to highlight, the enthusiasm that you actually show in the arguments, right? When we put arguments, the enthusiasm that you take from each other, the mutual understanding, right? This is awesome, and we need to have that mindset that if other person is having the other argument, like you always say, right? Millions of people can have millions of perspective and views. So we need to actually adapt that. We need to understand those things. It's not that whatever I am saying is right. It cannot be, because
Correct.
it is all context driven for testing. So second thing is that we need to engage in that thing is engage in the discussions, write articles, whatever you know. Even I started writing, but whether someone you are sharing it, not sharing it, keep writing it. Go to the LinkedIn, share some of your experiences. I started sharing recently, I didn't do, but that encourages me. Actually, people, at least two or three people will like it or they will comment it.
Yeah.
So these are the activities. If we are new to testing, right? Testing is not just that reading some books and then going to some courses and all. If we cultivate this kind of mindset and culture with the networking, different kinds of mindsets, then actually it will grow us as a very good tester. Tomorrow, even as a beginner, also tomorrow in the interview or in the work, also you can impact give a very good impact on the team. So in turn, that will give other team as a tester, this guy knows this thing, and they will respect the tester. Okay, this person is actually contributing, and he is a very good tester. So that is the impact at the end we want to bring in the community. Whether you are experienced or fresher doesn't matter. It's just about learning. So I don't hesitate to learn something new from anyone if it is something new, if it can give a good impact. So that's what my thought.
Thank you so much for that, Abhishek. I completely agree with you on Amutan, and a big shout out to him as well for doing such a brilliant job. I have seen his work, and I am so impressed with what he does. He is, to the point guy, very straightforward.
Correct.
Doesn't beat around the bush. Okay, makes his point, makes logical arguments. But having said all that, he's doing a phenomenal job teaching people, taking that knowledge to people. And for those who are joining the industry, learn, share, grow with people. Well, on that note, Abhishek, I think we've been speaking for quite some time now. Thank you so much for giving your time for this conversation. It was lovely to host you. This conversation by no means is complete, but in the interest of the time, we'll have to wrap it up for this episode. 2022 might actually see chapter 2 releasing, so we might have repeat episodes of people who have come on the show already. So be ready. I might reach out to you again pretty soon, asking you for another interview. So thank you so much for your time.
Brijesh, it's one ending note. It's really pleasure to talk to you, even though I didn't feel like I'm meeting you after so long or something, because I have been following you. I told, right, your posts, your details in the chat and all. But it is talking to you face to face is a different experience altogether. You make the person feel comfortable. And I would also shout out to the team, entire test chat team, which is for me it's a turning point. Faiz, Teapot, and Sachin Sharma. A big shout out to them also. And I hope that this community will again be a revolution further. And of course, this is setting a new standards. A lot of interesting things are coming up. So yes, I hope that I will be part of more future events. Thanks for invite.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, in 2 weeks' time, less than 2 weeks' time, I will have the pleasure of hosting Dorothy Graham on our YouTube channel. So I'm so excited about it.
Awesome.
It's going to be fun. Anyways, thank you so much, Abhishek. Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah. Take rest. Have a good weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.